Hello everyone, my name is Bhavan Saidu. My topic is Companies Act 1956, Nature and Formation of a Company. Now, the table of content is Introduction, Objectives, Nature of a Company, Types of Companies under the Companies Act 1956, Formation of a Company and Conclusion. Firstly, the introduction. The Companies Act 1956 was enacted to regulate the formation and operation of companies in India. This comprehensive legislation served as the foundation of corporate law in the country, ensuring that companies operate in transparent and accountable manner. Next, the objectives of Companies Act 1956. The key objectives of Company Act 1956 include: number 1, regulation, to provide a structured framework for formation, functioning and dissolution of companies. Second, protection, safeguarding the interests of shareholders, creditors and other stakeholders. Third, transparency, ensuring clear disclosure of financial information and business activities to promote trust and accountability. Next, the nature of a company. Number 1, separate legal entity. The company exists independently of its shareholders, allowing it to own property and incur debts in its own name. Second, limited liability. Shareholders are only liable to extent of their unpaid shares, protecting personal assets from business liabilities. Third, perpetual succession. The company continues to exist even if ownership changes, ensuring business continuity. Fourth, common seal, acts as the official signature of the company, validating documents and contracts. Fifth, ability to sue and be sued. A company can initiate legal proceedings and can also be sued in its own name, providing a layer of legal protection to its owners. Next, type of companies under the Companies Act 1956. Number 1, private company. Limited to maximum of 200 members, cannot invite the public to subscribe to shares and have restrictions on share transfer. Number 2, public company. Can have unlimited number of members and may invite the public to subscribe to shares. Requires a minimum of 3 directors. Third, one-person company, OPC. A newer concept allowing a single individual to form a company, ensuring limited liability and compliance flexibility. Now, the stages of formation of a company. Number 1, promotion stage. Number 2, incorporation stage. Number 3, capital raising stage. And number 4, commencement of business stage. So, firstly, the promotion stage. Promotion is the first stage in the formation of a company. It involves convincing a business opportunity and taking initiatives to form a company so that practical shape can be given to exploiting the available business opportunity. Functions of promoter. Number 1, identification of business opportunity. Number 2, feasible studies. Number 3, name approval. Number 4, fixing up signatories to memorandum of association. Number 5, appointment of professionals. Number 6, preparation of necessary documents like MOA and AOA. Now, the second stage, incorporation of a company. After going through the above formalities, the promoters of a company make an application for the incorporation of the company. The application is to be filed with the registrar of companies of state within which they plan to establish the register office to company. Number third stage, subscription of capital. A public company can raise the required funds from public using an issue of shares and debentures. For this purpose, it has to issue a prospectus, which is a kind of invitation to the public to subscribe to the capital of company and undergo various other formalities. The following steps are required for raising funds from public. Number 1, SEBI approval. Number 2, filing of prospectus. Number 3, appointment of bankers, brokers and underwriters. Number 4, minimum subscription. Number 5, application to stock exchange. And last is allotment of share. Now, the last stage is commencement of business. If the amount of minimum subscription is raised through new issue of shares, a public company applies to registrar of companies for the issue of certificate of commencement of business. The following documents are required. Number 1, a declaration that shares payable in cash have been subscribed for and allotted. Number 2, the declaration that every director has paid in cash the application and allotment money on his shares. Number 3, a declaration that no money is payable or liable
to become payable to the applicants. Number 4, the statutory declaration that above requirements have been compiled. Thank you.